So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and guys, welcome to your another important lecture of the PIB, in which I will be discussing a very important report that has been released recently by the Niti Aayog by the name of, that is, report was basically released on digital banks. Now why digital banks are important? Because we have seen in this year's budget also there was a special emphasis that was given to digital banks. Now your first homework will be, you have to tell me in the comment box what are the number of digital banks that has been targeted that would be built within some year by the government. So what are the targets for digital banks? That you have to tell me as per the union budget in the comment box, because if you remember that thing, you can relate it to this specific topic very easily. That's why this topic becomes important. Now when I say to you this report, this is equally important for RBI, SEBI and NABARD. Now the important thing is RBI, SEBI, so many of you can relate because it is related to finance. But why it is important for NABARD? Guys, the answer is simple. We have seen the question in previous year paper, that is the question on Banking Regulation Act has been done, the question on Small Finance Bank has been asked in NABARD. But the reason is, if I talk about the logical reason why this report is important, because there is a syllabus, in our syllabus, there is a topic by the name of reforms in banking sector # financial services. So this tells us, this specific topic of the syllabus of NABARD tells us that this report is equally important for your NABARD examination also. And guys, if I tell you about this report, so within this 5 to 10 minutes, each and every aspect of the report that is important for examination, I will be covering each and everything. Now without wasting any time, guys, let's start with the report. The first question I'm asking you is, who has released the report? Answer you know, I've discussed even in the thumbnail also, that is Niti Aayog. But important here is, what is the name of this report exactly if I talk about? The report is been titled as Digital Banks, a proposal for licensing and regulatory regime for India. So which tells us that it is a report which is proposing what should be the regulations for licensing the digital banks. That has been released by Niti Aayog. This is the main crux of this report that we have to remember. So which means here the focus will be on how you will be developing the licensing of the digital banks. Now with that, we should remember here is, what should be the thing that comes to our mind? First should be, what will be the methodology? Second question that might come to us is, what will be the bank's requirement? Then recommendations, and then it will be after that if there is any other key finding that has been there in this report, or any data has been given, presented in this specific report, which is equally important for examination. These are the 4 questions that will be coming to our mind when we talk about the licensing of the banks. So guys, these questions I will be addressing in the upcoming questions. The first question is on the methodology. So see the next question. The next question is, the methodology for this licensing bet will basically be comprising on the 4 factors. So you have to tell me which among these followings are those factors. That is entry barrier, competition, business restriction, technological neutrality, or all of the above. So if you guys do not know anything about the report also, just look at from the commonsensical point of view, there will be entry barriers, there should be some restriction or something will be talked about entry barriers also, which bank will be required, which bank will not be there, this should be done here. Competition, you want to enhance competition, you do not want to create monopoly here, so competition to hoga hi hoga. Then is whether there is some restriction or not, that is business restriction. And last, because if we are talking about digital banks, technological neutrality is the main crux here. So all these are the barriers, or all these are the basically the factors on which your report licensing methodology has been framed on. Now along with this, the important thing that needs to be remembered here are the 4 factors. It says will be mapped against the 5 benchmark jurisdictions. So 5 benchmark jurisdictions will basically be the jurisdiction of these 5 countries, that is Singapore, Hong Kong, United Kingdom, Malaysia, Australia and South Korea. It could be number 6, it could be 6 in number, but the important here is the jurisdiction of these 4 factors will be mapped on the jurisdiction of these countries. So these countries are equally important for us, that you have to remember. Then guys, after that, the next question is when I talk about key finding or key data that has been shared here. The report has shared data on unified payment interface, it has shared data on the MSMEs, and it has shared data on the Aadhaar authentication also. So when I talk about the data on UPI that has been shared, I am asking a question. It says that 4.2 billion transactions were being recorded in October 2021. What is the worth of that 4.2 billion transactions that I am asking you? The answer here is option number C. 7.7 trillion is the answer here. Now if I talk about the key findings, UPI are discussed 4.2 billion transactions worth 7.7 trillion were recorded in October 2021. Similarly, in Aadhaar authentication, the report says 55 trillion Aadhaar authentications have been passed in this past year. Now, a very important point, you might be feeling that you have not discussed this point. Here, a very important point that needs to be discussed here is, it says the credit penetration is a policy challenge, especially for the MSMEs. So, credit penetration is basically a challenge here. So, it is one of the challenge that has been decided, that has been discussed in the report. The main thing is, when I talk about this data is given about the MSMEs, not about credit penetration. This is the most important thing that you have to analyze. It says the MSMEs which are contributing 30% to GDP, 45% to manufacturing output, and 40% to exports. So this is the important thing, that this data is related to MSMEs, not to credit penetration. तो इस चीज का ध्यान रखना, because it might be a possibility you just go through it and you might commit a mistake here. So credit penetration says it is a challenge, but for MSMEs it says it is contributing 30% of the GDP, 40% of the manufacturing, and as well as 40% to the exports. This is the important thing that you have to keep in mind when you are covering this specific report. The next question is, guys, now I have discussed with you, there will be some specific requirements for banks, how they could get the licensing here, because it is all about licensing here. So in this report it says there will be licensing based on the some restricted phase will be there, and when it will be in progression stage, then some requirements will be changed here. So if I talk about here, the question I am asking you is, what will be the minimum paid up capital in the restricted phase for the digital business banks? What will be the answer here? So if you have gone through the report, that is really nice, but if you do not have gone through the report, don't worry guys, I will be discussing about that also. So digital customer banks, digital business banks, these will be set up with a minimum capital of rupees 20 crores in the initial phase, which will then be later be extended to 200 crore when it is in the progression stage. So जब बढ़ जाएगा, when it will be expanded, then the minimum paid up capital requirement will be 200 crore rupees. But initially in the restricted phase, it will be rupees 20 crores both for the digital business banks as well as for the digital consumer banks. So this you should remember. There is no if and but here. There is no change in the requirement here. Both requirements are same, even for digital business bank or digital consumer bank here. Then guys, after that, the next question or the last question I will talk about is recommendations that has been made under this specific report. Okay, ji? The recommendation says, it says there will be an issue of crypto bank license. Enlistment will be there in regulatory sandbox framework. So regulatory sandbox framework itself is important for the students who are preparing for RBI examinations. Then a full-scale digital bank license incentive will be driven. It is a full-scale digital bank license will be provided under this initiative. The report is basically proposing on that thing. If I see here, guys, option number D, 2 and 3 only is the right answer here. Why it is wrong? Because it is not telling what it says. Issue will be, there will be restrictions on the digital bank license, which means restrictions will be done in terms of volume, in terms of volume or value of the customer services. It is not talking about crypto bank. Crypto bank की बात नहीं हो रही है. You can see, you can make a guess here also. Government is trying to curb cryptocurrency. How that will government be introducing you to set up a crypto bank license? So this is a common sensical thing you can observe. Why I am saying this question, why I am again emphasizing on each and every aspect here is, guys, there is a reason here. Sometimes when you go in the examinations, you tend to feel that I haven't done anything about this report. I do not know anything about this report. Then also try to apply some logics here, because the reports that are being shared by the government will be there in the logics, will be there on the logics that the government, on the approach that the government is following. So if the government wants to restrict cryptocurrency, then how will government be setting up a crypto bank license? So this could be done from a normal logical way also. Then there will be enlistment of a license in the regulatory sandbox. There will be a full-scale digital banking licenses that a full-scale digital bank license should be given. That is recommended by this specific report. So guys, that was all about the report. So if you have liked the session, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. Then to get the access of the PDF, guys, kindly subscribe to the Telegram channel. The link for which is given in the description below. And if you guys have liked this specific video, kindly share it with your friends also. Now, very important announcement for all of you guys. So if you want to avail any discount on our combo courses, what you have to do is there is special offer for you. So we are running flat 40% off plus an additional 10% off that you can avail. You have to use the code combo that is offered till today midnight. So hurry guys, hurry jaldi isko you can avail this discount. Then a very important discount for the NABARD students. We have just launched the crash course that is very helpful for your last time preparation of NABARD. That would be very useful here. So you can also get flat 50% off in that specific NABARD crash course also. What you have to do is you have to use the code that is live. So you have to use the code live that is also valid till today midnight. So guys, jaldi you can avail this discount. So guys, again, this is all about from my side. Okay. If you still have any kind of doubt, you could drop us an email at hello@edutap.co.in. You could even place us a call. You could even take a mentor call from all of us. That is at this number 81462-07241. So I hope guys the lecture is fruitful for you. Keep learning, keep preparing hard, and I hope you will succeed. You will succeed definitely. So wishing you all the best for your examination.